Our top story, America's occupation of Afghanistan has officially come to an end, leaving a generation of pundits scrambling for a new topic to grandstand over.
President Joe Biden defended the withdrawal from the unique perspective of someone who's been backed by our government long after anyone thinks it's a good idea.
I refuse to open another decade of warfare in Afghanistan. If you're 20 years old today, you've never known an America at peace. I give you my word with all of my heart. I believe this is the right decision, a wise decision, and the best decision for America.
Really sad to hear that after 20 long years of thinking about it every once in a while.
Now, NBC's Richard Engel painted the evacuation as an abandonment of the American value of overextending its imperial reach.
The worst capitulation of Western values in our lifetimes. You left behind. I went to Afghanistan. I arrived a couple of weeks ago. It was a republic, backed by the United States, backed by the West. Now it is an emerging Islamic emirate trying to find its way.
Engel lamenting this blow to the West, but embodying the enduring Western value of a know-it-all white guy making a polysyllabic case for pointless slaughter.
Let's bring in the panel. I think Richard Engel is absolutely right. This withdrawal has tarnished everything America accomplished at the Bagram internment facility. Now who's going to chain taxi drivers to ceilings and beat them to death?
I gotta push back. I think pulling out was the right move, the natural result of electing a president old enough to remember the mistakes from history that he himself previously made.
Oh, come on, Dr. Bloom. It's just tragic to see the ever-flowing gravy train of defense money slow to a sorrowful bonanza.
How will those poor weapons manufacturers make money now? Well, other than our troop presence in Iraq, Syria, Germany, South Korea, Italy, Bahrain, Australia, the Mediterranean, the Pacific Theater, Spain, Turkey,
Eleanor,
the UK.
we've got
Just say everywhere. Moving on, the nation is gearing up to replace its school-to-prison pipeline with a school-to-hospital pipeline as protests continue over school mask mandates.
In California, former Miss USA runner-up and Kirkland brand Elizabeth Hasselbeck, Carrie Prejean Bowler, said this at a school board meeting.
Tonight, I'm simply here to tell you to unmask our children. We're done begging. In fact, we're done asking for permission.
That's right.
We are going to be unmasking our children today.
That's right.
The pandemic is over. The parents are done.
That's right.
See the chairs that you're sitting in? We own those chairs.
Mm-hmm.
See these lights? We pay for the lights, not you.
Leave it to the nouveau riche to make asses of themselves at PTA meetings instead of just secretly funding a Cato Institute manufactured puppet candidate.
Let's bring in Democratic Congressman Mike Levin of California. Thanks for joining us, Congressman.
Thanks for having me. Good to be with you.
Absolutely. Now, Congressman, this tape is from Encinitas in your district. This mother believes her school board is encroaching on her right to make healthcare decisions for her family. Shouldn't she be allowed to make those decisions and consequently for everyone else's children as well?
Well, here's the thing. I have two young kids, my wife and I took them to school this morning. I wore a mask. They wore masks. Masks are good. Listen to the public health experts. They will tell you masks will help us keep this pandemic at bay, keep our children safe. I don't know about you, but I want my children to be safe. Reasonable?
We as a society really do need to raise the bar on what constitutes a frothing-mouthed idiot, because we don't have time to learn about a new lunatic every 2 days.
Now look, to be fair, Carrie Prejean Bowler is probably flying so high on her wave of self-righteousness, she can't even hear the little voice in her head whispering that she has no clue what the hell she's talking about.
Look, it is beautiful that COVID conspiracy theories have bridged the political divide between alt-right loonies and far-left hippie dingbats.
Silver lining.
Absolutely. Now, in other news, Hurricane Ida swept through Louisiana this weekend, hitting several of our nation's largest oil and gas refineries, and probably a few people too. Afterwards, wave-spanking fetishist Al Roker said this.
I just want to say we are looking at the results of climate change. Those Gulf waters were about 3 to 5 degrees above average at 88 to 90 degrees. And that is purely climate change, and that's what created this monster storm.
Al, let's be positive here. Climate change might be bad, but at least it's only exclusively harming poor people.
Now, Congressman, you are also an environmental attorney. Aren't hurricanes just nature reminding us that if you live below penthouse level, it's your destiny and duty to die for your upstairs neighbors?
Well, look, my thoughts are with all the people in Louisiana as they deal with these events. And this is, as the head of the UN said, a code red for humanity. I'm honored to serve on the Select Committee for the Climate Crisis. We have to make bold and transformational investments in our clean energy infrastructure, and that's what we're going to do.
I've tried pricing poor people out of their neighborhoods, and it's a long, difficult process. So I gotta tip my hat to this hurricane for clearing them out in one day.
Look, the scientific community is in uniform agreement on the cause of this disaster. It's God's punishment for the Tulane History Department denying me tenure.
Dr. Bloom, you didn't even work there.
Now you sound like them.